if it couldn't get worse, well, it just does. The Harris campaign facing a new firestorm after one of its top surrogates insulted half the country again. Listen.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple.
Of course, this comes after President Biden called Trump supporters garbage just about 48 hours ago. Here to react, South Dakota Governor and Trump campaign surrogate Kristi Noem. Governor Noem, great to see you. Thank you so much for being with us. Your response to Mark Cuban saying, the Trump women who support Trump or the women who are around Donald Trump or gravitate to Donald Trump are not strong people.
I'm shocked by it, actually. It's such a blanket way to talk about women that support Donald Trump that it's offensive. And I don't get offended very often, but my goodness. And if you watch that video of Mark Cuban, he looks extremely emotional. And I think that is what is really showing us how the left and the campaign of Kamala Harris and her supporters is melting down. They're recognizing they're losing this race. And I just always think about the fact that if they're saying this stuff now, what do they say behind closed doors? I mean, obviously they talk like this all the time. And now that they're so emotional and panicking, it's slipping out from not just Mark Cuban, but it did from Joe Biden. Bill Clinton made these kind of insinuations earlier about supporters of President Trump. So one after another is continuing to insult the American people. And meanwhile, President Trump's out there having fun. He's campaigning with the American people and talking about the issues that they care about and really embracing the people that built this country, the backbone of America. And he's spending his days with them and loving the common average working man and woman and certainly all the strong women that are around him.
Meanwhile, the Wall Street Journal this morning calling out the Trump campaign for keeping Nikki Haley on the sidelines. The paper described it as a snub and saying that it was strange and not smart. They went on to say that, quote, although Mr. Trump soundly beat Ms. Haley in the 2024 GOP primaries, the stickiness of her support was notable. And the ambassador did get she did fairly well in some of the races, and whether it's about Nikki Haley or not, we know that the campaign seems to be focusing on male voters, and there is a widening gender gap between male voters who are now voting Republican and female voters. Is the Trump campaign doing enough to try to court women voters in these remaining weeks of the campaign?
Absolutely. The president and his campaign team are out talking to all Americans, and men and women and people that really care about the future of this country. And if you look at who's out there campaigning for him, it's many, many strong surrogates, including Laura Trump and Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And we've got, Elise Stefanik and myself. And we've got many women that are out there talking to individuals in this country about all the opportunities that President Trump opened up while he was in office last time, not just for men, but also for women, and how much better our businesses did, our families did, and how he drove down costs and allowed us to keep more money in our pockets to help our families. So, I think that I would love it if Nikki would get aggressive and go out there and start campaigning. I don't sit at home and wait for the campaign to tell me what to do. If I know people haven't made up their minds about President Trump, I go talk to them. I go have a meeting. I invite them to come have a conversation and answer their questions about what his policies are and how they help keep America strong. I hope Nikki will do that as well.